feel love, and I ain't got no
I got the fire flow. Shorty getting down, going up the fire pole. Radical, in the mitten where we mad cold. I got the bullfrog flow, you a tadpole. Feel the love, feel the rush, feel the buzz, let it brush ya. Bald eagle clutch on the mic, what's up? Whistle turn me up, we on the come up. Adrenaline like the craziest drug. Bust it, Caesar purple, networks of emotion. I built the rap that the words get floating. I'm ill dopeness, truth will be spoken. You wanna battle with the laser always loaded. They can't silence the vibrance. I got the rhymes and the vibes and a vibe twist. I'm it, hashtag this. The back of the track and the back of the bitch. You're taking the record that's accurate. Matter of fact is at the frontier with the form. We're getting weird while the horns whirl. Grizz make the storm swirl. Intergalactic.
Welcome to someone's favorite movie podcast. We're coming to you from the Pod Shack outside beautiful Flint, Michigan, USA. That's Tommy over there.
It is.
He's a stand-up comedian. And my name is Randy. I'm just a stand-up guy.
What? When?
I am just the salt of the earth, the cock of the walk over here, sir. You better recognize. How could you even forget
Right.
such facts?
With your pajamas on.
What pajamas? They're
That shirt is definitely a pajama shirt.
Your face is a pajama face. It deserves to be covered in PJs.
You're wearing a plain cotton shirt, long sleeve.
You're wearing a plain gray hoodie, and
Yeah.
it makes me sick.
I bought it today.
At Goodwill?
Family Dollar.
Close enough.
I was cold.
Oh, who isn't?
I didn't bring my jacket to work because I'm a man. And and I realized, I'm going to band practice, and they're going to stand outside and smoke for like a half hour every hour. And I'm going to stand there and freeze. So I swung into the Family Dollar and got this for $12.
That's the
only
thing-
one they had.
That's the thing about the men in beautiful Flint, Michigan, USA. We never wear coats.
Yeah.
I wear
hate
a
'em.
tore up, stupid gray hoodie too.
Both
all
of
over
my
the
hoodies,
place.
both of my hoodies this year. You know that blue one that I've been wearing forever? I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about, but the zipper broke. And my Everlast one that I haven't.
Did you
worn,
shake your fist to the
zipper
sky
broke.
and curse God?
2 hoodies this week broke.
Did you say an Everlast one? Like
Yeah.
the rapper?
Oh, like the cheap $10, like it was sporting equipment.
I thought you meant former lead singer of House of Pain. Get off your seat and jump around.
That's
jump around.
Whitey Ford. isn't
Whitey
it?
Ford, yeah. Sings the blues.
He's coming
baby.
to Flint.
Okay.
He's coming to the Buick City Event Center.
How about that? Mm-hmm. Random update. This is someone's favorite movie podcast. We talk about hoodies and Whitey Ford.
Yeah, music and
How you doing?
broken dreams.
And broken dreams. Oh my gosh. We apparently talk about Green Day too and the Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Wow.
So this is someone's favorite movie podcast. We are a comedy movie podcast. We look at the films that are underappreciated, the diamonds in the rough.
I could see why this week's choice was very underappreciated. It was probably appreciated as much as it deserves.
Some of them, genuine trash. Some of them, you look at them and you say, riff-raff, street rat. I don't buy that, you know?
That's a good rap.
Yeah, well, it's from Aladdin.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the best movie ever. So we look at those movies that are someone's favorite, because every movie is someone's favorite,
Sure.
just as every song is someone's favorite song, just as every stupid, shitty band is somebody's favorite awesome band.
Like Cold.
Like Cold.
That
for
was your
example.
favorite band for a while.
We come from the Miserable Retail Slave Show. That is a big dumb comedy podcast. And if you happen to like what you hear here,
Here.
go ahead and go check that out. You won't be disappointed. You might laugh once or twice, and
Twice.
chuckle a few times, even maybe even guffaw. You ever had a good? Oh, that was a guffaw.
It was, and I didn't mean to.
Unintentional
Look at that.
guffaws are the
I'm
best.
just a guffawing
Fool.
bastard over
You're
there.
a
Yeah.
guffawing buffoon over there.
I do. You know, it's such a weird word, but it's like the perfect sounding word. It's like phonetically perfect. You
A
go,
guffaw? Okay.
You know, right? It fits what it is.
The only thing that trumps it is achoo.
Yeah.
'Cause
But I don't say achoo. I say ah shit.
Well, that's intentional though.
Not anymore. It
Yeah,
used
but
to be.
it's a reflex now. For example, back when I was a wee lad, I used to say garbitch all the time because I really thought I was getting away with something, you know?
Yeah. So now you say garbage?
Nah, I grew out of that phase, unlike you.
Well, I don't mean to say shit. Shit. I just
Okay.
do it. Like it's what my body does now.
Your Tourette's sneezes there.
Mhm.
Excellent. So we are encouraging feedback. I want to do a segment on the show where we read user emails.
Okay.
Listener emails all the time. That would be great.
Okay.
So email us, someone's favorite movie podcast at gmail.com. Give us feedback, questions, comments, anything you want to bring up about movies. Especially tell us what your favorite underappreciated guilty pleasure is.
What's your favorite underappreciated guilty pleasure?
I don't know. I think this is a crusade to find it. You know? So we want go ahead. I know you people out there that love movies and love the dirty, grimy ones that nobody has seen. I know you love talking about them too. So I want you to tell us what those movies are and why you like it so much, and we might talk about it on this podcast.
We just might.
We just might, if you're lucky. If you think you're lucky stars, you know.
That's funny. We used to say that a lot, didn't we? If you're lucky.
Yeah. But in the meantime, I want to do the humble bumble double probation routine.
Yeah.
That's a callback to last week's episode. And thank you all for listening, you know, because we're a new endeavor here.
You have a good day now.
You have a good day now.
I saw him the other day.
So we're talking this week about a little known classic.
Yeah.
It was a movie that traumatized an entire nation, Tommy.
When was it made? Like 85?
Are you interrupting my intro here?
With questions.
And mentally scarred young children so that it was never shown on TV again.
Is that true?
This is true.
Well, maybe if I would have read the hype, I would have liked it a little more.
This is a movie called Ghostwatch. Ghostwatch was broadcast only once on Halloween 1992 on BBC
92.
One
Wow.
at 9:25 p.m. and attracted an audience of, believe it or not, 11.1 million people.
Well, it was supposed to be real, right?
It was portrayed as a real live news broadcast.
But who believed that? Because I made this movie maybe a half hour. I made it in, and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever.
Well, we'll get there, won't we? We'll see that it was portrayed as a live news broadcast seeking to find irrefutable proof that ghosts really do exist
Yeah.
by staking out a house on Fox Hill Drive.
Yeah. In somewhere in London or something, right?
Somewhere in England where a mother and her two daughters live, and the house contained the most tangible phenomenon in the entire UK.
Yeah, just the opening sequence where like the things are being thrown out of the room, and I'm just like, okay, there's somebody right off camera.
Oh, wow, you were just poo-pooing it right off the
Well,
bat.
it was so stupid.
Oh, my God. You think this is stupid, Tommy.
It was really dumb, yeah.
I mean,
I couldn't watch it.
the newspaper headlines, they were proclaiming the mother.
Oh, I would have ate it all up. I mean, if they would have did this in America in '92, and I would have been 10 years old, it would have been my favorite thing in the world.
The newspaper headlines were calling the mother of the family the Spook House Mother, which is the best punk rock name I've ever heard.
Spook House Mother.
Spook House Mother. In the news, she says, "I believe in the devil because her house is haunted."
Yeah, I did see that part.
Get
Like,
a
you really said that?
Get a grip, lady. I'm haunted too by all my past regrets.
Memories are my enemies.
Yeah.
I came up with that today, and I really like that.
In that tune
Memories are
too.
my enemies.
Wow,
and the
that's
Spook
amazing.
House Mother.
Oh my God.
we got a little rock, punk rock band going on here.
We do. We got that. So what they did
We got that. So what they did?
Yeah.
Well, that was a weird foghorn leghorn turned back to regular guy.
You got it. So in order to test the boundaries, push them beyond, make the audience question whether this was fact or fiction.
Oh, I like that show.
Is that a show?
Yeah, it used to be on Sci-Fi. It's really good.
They decided to bring familiar and respected TV personalities.
Yeah. And see, that's what fact and fiction does. It shows like videos, people send in their videos, and then they go over them and they make sure they try to see if they're fact or fiction.
Michael Parkinson, one of
Or is it fact or faked? I can't remember.
one of the BBC's most trusted faces, was asked to present it.
Oh, was that the dude that was like the host?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I had recognized him.
Alongside him was popular children's television presenter Sarah Green, together with her husband, TV and radio host Mike Smith.
So they were all real people that were really news reporters and stuff.
Yeah, they were all legitimate folks that were news media people.
And then they had that skeptic lady. Who's that lady?
They had she was an actress, Dr. Lynn Pascoe. So what we've got Michael Parkinson, a respected TV journalist.
But he wasn't there. He was on locations.
No, he was the guy with the gray hairs in the studio.
Oh, right, the host. Yeah.
So he's on set. They got a skeptic there. They're sitting in an elaborate set.
Yeah.
With a large frame picture of a sheet ghost hanging in the background.
Right. That was really dumb.
Oh, are you kidding me? Classic sheet ghosts are the most terrifying. Like literally,
how many people were like, "There it is, right there"?
I think I'd be more scared of a floating sheet with 3 holes cut in it, floating towards me, than I would a random man with a couple cuts on his face walking towards me.
Right?
Yeah.
There's nothing scarier than a floating sheet.
There's nothing scarier than a floating sheet.
You don't know what's
especially if
under
it has 3 holes. You're like, oh boy, what is this? What is coming my way? So you don't think, like today, for example, if there was some haunted news program,
it wouldn't work. No.
What if we took one of our well-respected American? Do we have any more well-respected
Sam
American?
Donaldson.
Is he yet? Is he the only one that's not harassed all the women's?
Lester Holt, maybe.
What's that?
He's on the ID channel, but he's done some stuff. Who's the guy that does the nightly news?
I don't know.
He's
probably a creep.
No, he's around. Yeah, he would probably be the guy because he's young. He does the ABC nightly news or whatever it is. It's like
so you don't think it would work today?
Well, I mean, yeah, but no. I mean, I think it's just been saturated.
In this era.
I mean, with the ghost hunters and then douchebaggins and all them guys.
Douchebaggins?
What's Ghost Adventures, Zach Baggins?
Douchebaggins?
That's what people that his haters call them douchebaggins.
Ooh.
Well, he'd wear like he'd wear like affliction shirts or whatever, and you have the bedazzled ass pocket jeans and the faux hawk. Zach Baggins. Yeah, the Ghost Hunters was huge. And then they had Ghost Adventures. And then Sci-Fi did that Fact or Fake show, which you've never heard about.
So let me get this straight. In this era of fake news, nobody would be able to pull the wool over the eyes of America.
I guess so, but I don't think it'd be 11. I don't know. It depends on how well it's presented.
Need I remind you who our president is?
Like, I guess if The Rock or somebody went and did it, they can't have it can't be Ted Nugent or something.
I guarantee if The Rock came out and said, I saw an alien, it tried to abduct me, everyone would believe him. I would believe him.
I wouldn't believe him, but I would listen.
I would listen to what he had to say.
I'd see how ridiculous it'd be. Yeah.
You know what's hilarious? On Miserable Retail Slave a few years ago, we talked about how I thought The Rock should run for president.
Yeah.
And then it was in the news that he might run for president.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's ridiculous and awesome all at once.
Yeah. Is that still going around?
No, Kanye's doing it. So that's much
Kanye's
better.
running?
He's whatever.
That's awesome.
But I watched this show, and it reminded me, took me right back to my wee youth.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in 4th grade,
Yeah.
this reminded me of an exorcism I saw on 2020
Wow.
in 4th grade.
Okay.
That was 1991, a year and a half before Ghostwatch, and it was the talk of my class. And you might ask, why were you watching 2020?
Yeah.
And I will respond to you. It was on after TGIF.
Oh.
Everybody was watching TGIF, so
Yeah.
of course they saw some woman, with her.
After Step by Step.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably was actually.
The Codemeister.
Yeah. And I mean, that was scary. And I mean, Barbara Walters' head didn't spin around or anything like that I saw.
Right.
But it had this woman and she's, screaming and talking in that deep growly voice,
Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan would be the guy to do it nowadays.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
She's talking in that deep growly voice.
Yeah.
That means either you're possessed by a demon or you're practicing to be the lead singer of a screamo hardcore punk band. Maybe Spookhouse Mother. And indeed, towards the end of this movie, one of the little girls starts talking like that. And it works. Kind of creepy. Kind of creepy.
Really?
One of the legit creepy parts.
I never got that far.
That's a shame, Thomas.
So they throughout the movie, you're supposed to start believing that this house is actually haunted.
You're supposed to start believing, Tommy. You're supposed to start. I mean, and you say that, who's going to buy this? I think 2020 was a respected news program.
Sure.
Back
still
then,
is.
you didn't get much better than Barbara Walters.
I still like 2020 Dateline. That's still, yeah.
And they had an exorcism. Bullshit or no? Probably.
Oh,
but
for
it was
sure.
on there.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. One of those fake demons, huh? Come on.
Yeah.
So you don't think... when's the next time there was a hoax in America? Do you remember a little thing called Alien Autopsy?
Yeah, but that didn't go over that well.
Did it or did it not?
I remember Fire in the Sky. Do you remember that one?
What is Fire in the Sky?
It was a made-for-TV movie around probably 93 or 94 about it. It was supposed to be...
smoke on the water
and
fire in the sky. Was it about Deep Purple?
No, it was about a guy that got abducted by aliens, and it was supposed to be a real story. But it was a real movie. It wasn't like
yeah, but it was presented as a live broadcast.
No, it wasn't. No.
Alien Autopsy, Fact or Fiction, was broadcast in 1995
Really?
on Fox. Do you remember watching it? Because I sure do.
I don't, but I remember seeing it online years after.
And they had all these, special effects wizards on, and they were like, "Oh, I couldn't do that." Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And you were like, "Oh man!" And they pixelated the aliens' nuts on the screen to add to the.
That's the part that you remember.
I remembered the pixelated alien nuts, yes, sir. And again, you say to me, "Well, something like this couldn't happen." Not today.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's YouTube is a thing now, so people
It
want
is.
to.
It is.
I mean, it's just not. It's already readily available.
Do you remember in 2012 a show called Mermaids
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that was on Animal Planet and the Discovery Channel?
Oh yeah.
And it told the story of a scientific team that found evidence of mermaids.
Oh yes.
And the show presented it as fact.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember this. Absolutely.
Oh my God. And so many people bought it.
Yeah.
So many people bought it.
I definitely remember that.
That was only a few years ago.
I remember before I watched that, I'm going, wait, they found what?
Honestly,
No.
I did too.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. They're actually, and then I watched the show and I was like, this is ridiculous.
The show presented the controversial aquatic ape hypothesis, which is the first single from Spookhouse Mother,
Aquatic ape.
as evidence that mermaids exist, along with a digitally manufactured video.
Yeah, I remember they're like, well, they're not pretty. Do you remember them saying
Yeah.
that? Stuff like that. Like, well, they're like apes.
This type of programming receives particular criticism because there were only a few easily missed disclaimers to indicate the speculative nature of the programming. On the contrary, the serious tone of the majority of the presentation implied that it was a factual documentary. The first airings of the two Mermaid programs, because there was a sequel, fooled millions of people and also drew some of Animal Planet's largest audiences ever.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they literally came out and said this is real. That's different than Ghostwatch, because Ghostwatch is saying, let's go see if this is real.
Okay, I suppose.
You know what I mean? They're saying they already had the evidence.
But it was a totally fictional thing going in.
Yeah. But
there was only a few disclaimers at the beginning saying that, well, there wasn't even a disclaimer. All it said was it was written by somebody.
Right.
And then it went
Which you
straight
can still
to.
have a thing. I mean, of course, if they really found mermaids, they're still going to have to write the show.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little different because, they're saying here is irrefutable proof. We're going to show you something. In Ghostwatch, they're like, you guys want to sit around for a couple hours and see if something happens in this haunted house?
October 30th, Tommy.
Devil's Night.
It is Devil's Night.
Yeah. Remember when that used to be a big thing?
It used to be a thing.
I
Especially
don't think I ever heard anybody say anything.
Especially in beautiful Flint, Michigan, USA. That's when all the abandoned houses got burnt. Remember that scene, folks, in 8 Mile when B-Rabbit burns down the abandoned house?
Yeah.
That was a nightly occurrence in beautiful Flint, Michigan, USA.
And you know, like Devil's Night, just like 4 or 5 years ago was still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been in the last couple of years where people are like, "Now we got our phones. We're staying inside."
October 30th, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
2018 was the 80th anniversary of what?
October 30th
Yes.
was the 80th anniversary of
Something happened in 1938.
Nosferatu.
A huge hoax.
I don't know.
It was 80 years ago, October 30th, 2018.
Wait, 1938.
It was 80 years ago, October 30th, 1938, when Orson Welles did the radio broadcast of War of the Worlds.
I never heard that.
You've never heard of this?
No. I mean, I knew there was a thing called War of the Worlds, but I always just figured it was a book he wrote.
Oh, my God, you're a fool.
I'm a fool. I couldn't just be ignorant.
Well, you're an ignorant fool. How about that? War of the Worlds was written by H.G. Wells in 1898.
Oh, there we go.
Orson Welles is the future director of the greatest movie of all time, Citizen Kane.
Okay.
Arguably.
Okay.
On October 30th, he took to the radio waves,
Mm-hmm.
and he narrated War of the Worlds as if it was happening at the time.
So people thought it was actually happening?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, probably not if you were sitting in your living room at the time.
Yeah. So we started it with, ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music, which you should never do. You got dance music, you don't interrupt.
They're doing the Charleston. I want to see the fucking Charleston.
You got to see that Charleston go down. Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin. Martians have landed in New Jersey. And he basically adapted War of the Worlds to a first-person narrator and acted like it was happening.
What people allowed this?
What people allowed
Well,
this?
this is, you're presenting something that's supposed to be real.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Well, again, there were disclaimers, but...
Yeah, but they were hidden.
Well, I don't know. Radio was a new medium back then, too.
Yeah, I guess.
A professor at Princeton in 1988 told ABC News people were vulnerable in 1938. They were worried about the war, worried about the economy, and perhaps were a little bit upset and nervous because it was Halloween.
Okay. Yeah, because Halloween used to be a scarier thing, too.
Yeah, and maybe that's what happened with this Ghostwatch thing. It's Halloween.
Yes, Halloween's not a scary thing anymore. Nobody takes it seriously.
Was it in 1992?
I would think that it would probably be a little more.
You had the Gulf War happening.
Yeah, scary.
Scary. I mean, they weren't... the United Kingdom wasn't that far. Great Britain, England, whatever you call it.
UK.
London. Wasn't that far removed if you think about it from World War II when they got the shit bombed out of them.
Right.
That was, 40 to 50 years.
Yeah.
That was only
60 years, yeah.
That's not even an entire generation away.
Yeah, maybe almost 70 now.
Yeah,
1940s.
So you got another war going on. It's Halloween. People are expecting spooky shit.
But World War II hadn't started in 38, right? It wasn't until like 39 or 40, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably.
I think it was 39 through 45 or something. I don't know.
This is where the show where we guess about historical facts.
Somebody's favorite movie podcast.
But
Someone's favorite.
But it was always rumored that the War of the Worlds thing called mass hysteria, panic in the streets. Millions and millions of people
because they interrupt it. You know, they're trying to tell you. That would be like the equivalent of somebody coming on today and saying like the nuclear bomb is coming and we have to, we're all going to die here in like 30 seconds.
Or more recently, the president sent out a text message to everyone. Basically,
but nobody cared about that.
Just because he could.
The only thing that did was fuel 1,000 jokes on Facebook.
Okay, but you got to believe there was a small segment of the population that was freaked out.
Yeah, what did it say anyway? This is just a test.
Yeah, something.
Did you get it?
Yeah,
I got it too. Some people didn't get it.
Oh well.
Yeah,
they're off the grid.
I was chosen.
But it was rumored that there was millions of just hysteria, panic in the streets. Turns out that was not the case, really.
Yeah.
It was just a myth that was carried on.
Oh, really? Like nobody cared?
Yeah, after people actually looked into it, it turns out that the show that Orson Welles was doing was...
It's like when you hear conservatives talk about liberal safe spaces. It's like, where are those places? What? We don't really have those.
Yeah. So, according to the C.E. Hooper rating service, on the night the program aired, only 2% of the 5,000 people that were surveyed were even tuned in to the War of the Worlds. None of the few who did listen indicated confusion about whether it was news or fiction.
That's awesome. I just imagine some old guy with like a fedora, and he's just getting home from work, and he's like 53, and he's pouring like a Dewar's.
Yeah.
And he's like, bullshit, Margaret. I don't know.
This is poppycock and balderdash.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't be bullshit. It'd be balderdash.
They had fake news even back then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the article I read...
See, Trump's just telling everybody that fake news is around.
The article I read said the myth also persists about War of the Worlds because it so perfectly captures our unease with the media's power over our lives. The, quote, panic broadcast may be as much a function as fantasy as facts, writes Northwestern's Jeffrey Sconce in Haunted Media, suggesting that the panic myth is a function of simple displacement. It's not the Martians invading Earth that we fear. It's ABC, CBS, and NBC invading and colonizing our consciousness that truly frightens us.
That's true.
That's so true and very smart and fun. I like that.
And that was written in 88?
I don't know when that one was written.
I think you said, I don't know. But yeah, that's a better way to look at it. And I just don't know if they can do that. I don't think they have as much of a power as they did back then because, like I said, if somebody wants to look up a haunted live broadcast, I'm sure all they have to do is YouTube it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And they'll get, probably 20 options. But I see if it's presented correctly and it's going to, it's advertised for like a month before, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Then maybe people will get behind it and have their families over to watch the big to do.
So, like we said, it was a live broadcast, but it was presented as a live broadcast. It was actually filmed weeks before.
Yeah.
And it was a brainchild of a horror writer named Stephen Volk.
It's a great idea.
It is a good idea. He originally conceived it as a 6-part drama, but was asked by the producer of it to just create a 90-minute ghost story for the Screen One series.
Yeah, that's smarter.
I said to her, why don't we do it instead as an investigation, a mystery story, pretending it's a live transmission from a haunted house?
Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah. The producer of the movie had seen a news report on the Gulf War and how TV was being used to convince the public that it was a, quote, clean war. She realized the script could be a platform for making a statement about the unseen manipulative powers of television. Ghostwatch was never intended to be a hoax. Instead, the use of a live broadcast was there to make it more effective. The producers thought that people might be puzzled for perhaps 5 minutes, but then they would surely get it and enjoy it for what it was, a drama.
Oh, really? But that's not what happened, huh?
That's not what happened.
People thought the whole thing. Like, I got it right away, and I didn't. I don't remember if you told me, but I was like, okay, I don't remember if this is supposed to be real or not, but I'm gonna watch it. And I started watching it, and like right away, I was like, there's no way. It's supposed to be real, and it's not. So I got it, and I'm pretty stupid. So
during the only broadcast of this, the show attracted a considerable outcry, resulting in an estimated 30,000 calls to the BBC switchboard in a single hour.
Oh, that's awesome, because they do ask them to call in.
They flashed a number on the screen, which was the actual number they use for live call-in shows on the BBC.
Really? Because I thought that was the weirdest number. It was like 818-888-8888 or something.
That's not an American number, so it can't be real.
I was just like, how's it all the same number?
Yeah, that's the actual number they use for live call-in shows.
Okay.
And if the people actually,
I guess they would have to use the real number. People would
to add
understand
to the
then.
effect. Yeah.
Right.
So if people actually got through, then they were told that because the viewers were told to call in with their ghost stories. If they actually got it through, they were told right off the bat that this was a fictional thing. Blah blah blah.
Oh, before they put them on the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, since there was 30,000 people calling at once, nobody got through.
So that one lady that I heard was an actress?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
all the calls on there were
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it, but even towards the end, there's a guy that calls.
I definitely didn't see it.
There's a guy that calls, and it's a prank call, and they're laughing and ha ha ha.
No, that was towards the beginning.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I don't
remember.
remember. I don't remember.
Oh no! I'm thinking of when the guy in the ape suit jumps out on the.
Oh, right.
So stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, in a report published in the British talking's hard. In a report published in the
reading apparently.
Yeah. In a report published in the British Medical Journal 18 months after the showing, cases were reported classified as post-traumatic stress disorder from consumption of media, in this case Ghostwatch. 2 10-year-old boys were suffering from panic attacks and sleep disturbance as a result of the broadcast.
I could see that, yeah.
One mentally ill person committed suicide over it.
What? Wow.
Because the ghost in the show is called Pipes.
Okay.
Based on the knocking that he makes on the walls and whatnot.
Right.
Apparently, there was a radiator in his house that he lived in with his parents that knocked a lot. And yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
That's very sad. Also, there was a woman that tried to sue the BBC for money to replace the pants that were soiled by her husband. She was so afraid.
Wait, so her husband shit his pants?
Absolutely, he did. You ever thought you'd ever be scared enough to poo your pants, Tommy?
No,
that's a thing.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe, but I mean, I've definitely shit my pants when I was drunk before.
Yeah, but you weren't scared.
My butt was.
Oh, I'm sure. The only thing you were scared of was facing reality.
Right. Well,
facing those feelings. Oof. Don't like those suckers. Not at all. So you didn't make it very far into
25
Ghostwatch.
minutes. Well, maybe a half hour. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was really excited for this because so much hype. I'm like, it traumatized all these people. And like I mentioned before with the War of the Worlds thing, maybe it's exaggerated a bit, you think?
Yeah.
Maybe. But again, there's cases, and a boy committed suicide. That's a bad thing.
Right.
So, I mean, it did have some sort of impact.
Yeah, maybe I should have just skipped ahead because the beginning was very drawn out.
It was very slow.
Yeah. It got better, though?
I don't know. Not much really happens, honestly. That's the bad thing about it.
That's what made people think it was real, right?
Kind of. I mean, it
Because if
did,
there's a floating sheet that comes by, nobody's going to believe that.
but they would be scared. Like I said, sheet ghost, the worst ghost. So they follow this family around. Not much happens. They show a video of months before of things being thrown,
Yeah.
lamps exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the guy that's supposed to be standing by the curtains.
Yeah. That's the thing about pipes. You never really see them, and that really irritates me.
Really?
People are still counting like appearances of him because there's only flashes. You never full out see him.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be as many as 13 appearances of him.
Yeah.
I only caught twice. One was not so well, it was.
Should we lock the door? No, you got me all freaked out.
Do you hear that noise? Is it raining or something?
I don't hear it, but now I'm like, is Polly Walnuts coming busting through the door? You guys setting me up here to soil my
See, I
pants?
just proved a hoax can work. So there's one part that you might have seen in the curtains there. They freeze frame it. You can sort of see his outline.
Yeah.
There's one especially.
But then didn't they say that was like the reflection of the light or something?
Yeah, but that counts as an appearance of him. You can clearly see the outline of him.
Yeah.
There's one part near the end of the movie where the Sarah Green, she's the woman inside the house with the family.
Yeah.
She's like the kid's host personality. She's in the field. You know? She starts hearing these weird noises and starts hearing cat noises. And she looks, and there's a cat outside she gets all freaked out. She looks, and there's a cat outside the sliding glass door. And she's like, oh, it's nothing, you know?
Yeah.
And the cameraman zooms on the cat, and then you can actually see him in the reflection, and it's kind of creepy.
Okay.
But you don't ever see a full out, oh, here's Johnny.
Yeah. Well, they kept making mention of that what is it, like a cellar door that's blocked off?
Oh, yes.
Where the little girl can see like the ghost inside the door or something.
He lives inside the cellar door that they blocked off.
Yeah.
Which the mother's ex-husband used to call the glory hole.
Yeah, I thought I caught that.
Boy, oh boy. Really?
There's a reason why he's the ex-husband.
I guess so. We found it. We certainly found it.
Regular Sid Vicious there, huh?
Oh, my God. But Pipes is like the ghost version of Jaws or Alien. You barely see him. And it just adds to the tension.
Yeah, the mystery of it all.
The mystery of it. So, throughout the movie, honestly, not much happens. So, you see a few more random throwings of things.
Yeah. Does the host ever get upset or?
Oh yeah, she starts getting freaked out.
What about the dude?
What dude?
The host of the whole thing, the old guy.
No, well, he's trying to rationalize, and then the expert is like, "Oh, you know." And honestly, this movie has got to be like an inspiration for all the ghost hunting shows out there, because they've got thermal cameras and sensors that turn on with intense cold. And
there was a thing, now that you say this, when I was probably in 6th or 7th grade, there was a thing that was supposed to be a live alien abduction. Do you remember this? This is huge.
No.
And I recorded it, and I showed my parents, and I was like so convinced that it really happened.
And they're like, son, no.
Well, I don't remember what they were, but I'm sure they were just like, yeah, turn it off. This is stupid. But, I'm sure they didn't buy into it as much as I did. So, I remember it was like a house that, yeah.
And then at certain points through it, after the throwing and stuff, they start hearing cat noises. All these feral cats like in the wall. And this is after they find the cat outside.
Okay.
And I'm like, come on, Ghost. You got to be more clever than making cat noise. I do that every time I hear a woman degrade another woman. Like, have you seen Susie? She looks so fat today. I'm like, meow.
Yeah.
Meow. Because I'm a swine.
Yeah.
See, I'm not even a poltergeist yet. That doesn't creep me out. If you get some originality, Ghost, that's what I want from you.
Right.
To truly terrify me, you got to float your dead ass over to me, puke up a bunch of wet kitties. Then those kitties start meowing. Then I'd be terrified because I'd be like, what am I going to do with all these wet cats?
Ugh, that'd be worse, wouldn't it?
Cats are bad enough. Then you got a whole feral pack of them and they're meowing and they're wet.
Ugh.
How can you deal? How can you deal?
Set them on fire.
That's the only rational solution. You know, these ghosts are always so angry too. I don't know what they're doing. They need a new gimmick.
Right.
Like we need some ghost therapists out there. We need some ghost anger management.
Some Ghostbusters, maybe?
You know, that's not. Sometimes we need to talk through the problems. Tell me why you're so angry and don't start feral cat noises at me.
Right. I just remember John Caparulo. I'm not going to do the bit, but John Caparulo had a joke about he wouldn't be scared if like he woke up in the middle of the night and there was like a girl riding like a rocking horse. He'd just be more annoyed. Like, will you keep it down over there?
Trying to sleep here.
Right.
So it starts to progress. They find a random wet circle on the ground because ghosts are into abstract art, apparently, making crop circles in the carpet.
Sure.
The oldest girl starts getting random cuts all over her face.
Weird.
Yeah. Then she starts talking in the deep growl.
Oh.
Then everything starts getting all wonky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they start messing around with the glory hole.
Uh-oh. Go right to the source, huh?
Guys, don't ever mess with the glory hole. Please don't mess with the glory hole.
Abstain from the glory.
Abstain from the glory hole, would you please? And as they're doing that, the live camera starts cutting out, and it goes back to the studio.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God! And they start getting a call from a couple callers that know about that house.
Uh-oh.
And it turns out that back in the 60s, there used to be a lady that lived there named Mother Sutton, and she used to kill all the children.
Wow.
Right?
Not just the cats.
Also, the caller after that was a social worker and said that there used to be a family that lived there and rented out another room in the house to a bad man named Raymond Tunstall, and he was a child molester.
Wow.
Yes, and I don't remember why exactly, but he killed himself, and he had 12 cats.
Oh.
And the body wasn't discovered for a long, long while, so the cats ate his eyes and most of his face.
Right.
And so there you go. Yeah. So the ghost appears as described by the girl without eyes and wearing a black dress. So he's a combination of the two angry people.
Interesting.
So interesting.
It is.
So at the very close to the end.
At the very close to the end.
Yeah. They rip open that glory hole.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
And I've seen that the director of the Blair Witch Project, he claims that he's not seen this movie. He saw this movie after they made the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very well, it could be true, I guess.
However,
it's very much the same idea.
However, I'm watching the end of Ghostwatch here.
Uh-huh.
And it's very, very similar in tone to the Blair Witch Project. Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one standing in the corner in a timeout.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That was creepy.
Yeah, that was the most...
Did you like the Blair Witch Project?
I did.
I didn't like it when it came out because I had a friend. Did you know my friend John Petropoulos? He passed away, but
I don't know.
I worked with him at what a good friend of mine. He passed away a few years ago, but I worked with him at the grocery store, and he had heard about it, and it came out right around the time that we had just gotten the internet, right?
Uh-huh.
So there was all these websites dedicated to the Blair Witch Project, and the website was like a new thing, and it had such hype.
It did, yeah.
And then it was like, I was obsessed with it, and it came out, and I was like, But looking back at it, I'm like, okay, that was cool the way they did it.
The most terrifying thing of that movie is when he's standing in the corner in timeout, and you're like, why is that so scary? Apparently, the Blair Witch is like a teacher from the 80s, like, stick your nose in that corner.
Right. Well, I think you're just supposed to be like, well, something's controlling him.
Right. Well, if you've seen the most recent Blair Witch, which came out a couple of years ago.
I didn't, but the second one was good.
I heard the second. I've not seen the second. I heard it was shit.
It was like a real movie, kind of. Book of Shadows, I think it's called.
Okay. The newest one is more of a found footage deal.
Okay.
However, it's very, very fucking clever because all the characters are wearing GoPros.
Okay.
So while it's found footage, it acts like a traditional movie kind of because every character has a camera on them. And there's they have drones too.
Okay.
Because they're investigating. I think one of the characters is like a brother of Heather from the first movie.
Okay.
And so they're trying to find out what actually happened.
Wasn't that the thing they were doing in the first place in the original Blair Witch?
They were just trying
to find the house.
Yeah. So they actually find the house in the newest Blair Witch, and there's a reason that you can't look at the Blair Witch. So that's why.
Maybe I've seen this. How long ago was this?
2016?
Yeah, I think I did see this movie.
So you can't look at the Blair Witch. That's why Mikey had his nose in the corner.
Yeah.
Not to stare the Blair Witch in the face. Otherwise, if you look at it, it kills you.
Right.
So.
Okay. So, back to the glory hole.
I mean, so yeah, they unleash the demon and...
But there's nothing in the glory hole when they open it up.
Pipes was in the glory hole.
But you don't see him.
No.
Okay.
No. Still very frustrating. Like one decent...
Was he making noise and stuff?
The little girls were going nuts. There was a bunch of wind rushing out, and I don't know. I think a mirror flew off the wall and killed the cameraman.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, crushed him in the head.
Really?
And then it goes back to the studio and all these papers and shit start flying all over the place. And
that's pretty crazy.
It really goes off the wall at the very end. So at that point, I hope nobody believed it was real because at the very, very end, shit gets bananas, yo.
Yeah.
And like at the end, Michael Parkinson is possessed by pipes and he starts talking in the deep screamo voice.
Oh no.
Rah, 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 rah. And then it ends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. I feel like I was interested by it, but it was very, very slow and kind of boring. I'm with you. Not a lot happens. Yeah. I'm more interested in everything around the movie than I was actually watching it.
I think if you're watching it live, it had to have been
exactly.
really cool.
If you're watching it live in 1992 without an internet and 25 years of history behind it, it'd be completely different. You don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
I mean, imagine thousands upon thousands of movies that's been released since then.
Right.
It's like you watch a movie from like the 40s or 50s and you're like, "Oh, I've seen that before. That's not clever."
Right.
And then you're like,
"Wait.
Well, this movie fucking invented that."
Right.
So, it is pretty clever.
Right. Right. Good point.
So it's all about history. I tried to view it as like a viewer in 1992 watching it, not knowing whether or not it was live or not.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, I don't know. I feel like the television personalities like Michael Parkinson and Sarah Green and the Mike Smith guy, obviously they were convincing. That's their job. They ad lib and they're used to be. However, the actors, I feel like were like the expert, the Dr. Lynn.
Yeah.
She was very actorish and not very good at it. But I thought the kids were pretty good at ad-libbing and being creepy, so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't get through most of it, so.
Yeah. If I ever die, which I doubt highly likely will ever happen.
Right.
I am the mortal soldier upon this planet.
Yeah.
I'd probably end up haunting someone over the stupidest thing.
You think that that will be an option for you?
I said I am the immortal soldier. Yes. All things are possible if
So
you just
believe
believe
in the
Tommy.
afterlife? Okay.
Like if somebody got my order wrong in the drive-thru at McDonald's, I feel like I'd throw haunted pickles at them because pickles are very hellish. Nobody should ever eat them.
Really? I love pickles.
And I'd haunt that poor acne-faced kid for the rest of his days.
You never had fried pickles? Oh, so good.
Fried pickles are good.
Well, they're the same thing. They're just covered in breading.
Certain pickles are all right. Pickles on a cheeseburger or something, get out of my face with that.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, I usually, if I'm having a good cheeseburger, I don't put pickles on it.
There's no greater tragedy known to man than a pickle on a cheeseburger.
No, just extra cheese and bacon.
Notice how I said cheeseburger,
Yeah.
never hamburger.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
Put
gross.
cheese on everything.
Yes, and bacon
Get
and
the
mustard.
F out.
Mhm.
GTFO.
What's your perfect burger? I want to hear it.
My perfect burger.
Yeah.
I like 3 or 4 patties, you know.
What?
Let's stack them up. Let's double it up. And I like cheese on it.
Yeah.
And it's got to be on the grill.
Okay.
Propane.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
Not charcoal?
Yeah, charcoal. Yeah.
Well, propane and charcoal are way different.
Yeah, but you put charcoal, well, kind of.
Yeah, charcoal grill doesn't use propane.
You still, yeah, I guess.
All right. So yours is grilled, and
No, I'd rather have propane. Charcoal, sometimes charcoal makes it taste like you're eating right in the center of a smokestack.
yeah,
sometimes.
I don't mind either way. Sometimes I'm in the really mood for either or.
You're in the really mood.
Yeah. So what kind of cheese?
All American, baby.
Okay. And bacon,
I mean, if it's available,
lettuce, tomato.
I don't fuck with no tomato.
Yeah, me
Lettuce will
neither.
be okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mustard,
No, never.
mayonnaise,
Ketchup.
ketchup,
Yeah.
mayonnaise.
No.
Really? I don't do ketchup on my burger. I got to do mustard and mayonnaise.
Well, you're a freak.
Okay. We should go to the Torch and have a burger because they have the best ones.
Oh, should we?
Yes.
Let's go now.
Right.
They're still open.
Yeah. Real.
Yeah. One last thing. This was actually based on the Enfield Poltergeist.
Did you record the cheeseburger thing? Because I think it was
Yes.
really good. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
The Enfield Poltergeist, which was a, quote, real supernatural activity at 284 Green Street in Enfield, England, between 1977 and 1979, involving 2 sisters. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Some members of the Society for Psychical Research believe the haunting to be genuine,
Okay.
while others were unconvinced and found evidence that maybe the girls had faked incidents for the benefit of the reporters.
Oh, no.
Actually, now that I read that, I'm reminded at a certain point in Ghostwatch, which I found was one of the best parts of the movie, actually, they start hearing the knocking of pipes. And so the cameraman and Sarah Green is freaking out and trying to find where the knockings come from. And it turns out it's the oldest daughter banging on the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so Michael Parkinson's like, "Oh, there we go, it's a hoax," you know.
Yeah, because he's like really, he's a naysayer.
He's Mr. Skeptical.
Yeah.
He's Dana.
That's why at the end they make him
He's Dana Scully, you know.
right.
And so it's a hoax. It's a hoax. And so Sarah's asking the oldest daughter why she did that, you know. And she just breaks down in tears, and she's like, "I gave you what you want. All we were sounds to you."
Oh.
I'm like, "Ooh,
Oh.
we got a little media commentary here.
Yeah. A little bit of drama.
A little bit of drama." I do feel like there is a little bit of I mean, we talked about it, like believing too much in mass media and not believing everything you see,
Right.
and the media slant on what you see.
Sure.
So
That's a lot of big stuff. I mean, yeah. I mean, even believing what you see outside of mass media
yeah, that's true.
is a big thing. Perception, I believe, is a big thing.
Yeah, because the way you perceive something in one instant is like completely dependent on your stupid mood and
And your prototypes of whatever's going on and your past experiences and your schemas and your assimilations and
Oh, look at you, psychology boy.
clinical psych degree.
Damn.
That's it. Yeah. It's all based on your experiences with the world. So
I think, if anything, this past election has proven that social media is a lethal weapon, more dangerous than anything.
social media is terrible.
Like the deadly hands of Chuck the car wash attendant can topple an entire company if he so chooses. Anyways, the Enfield poltergeist. In August 1977, single parent Petty Hodgson.
Wait, single parent.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they ripped off this woman's life.
Like, so
Peggy Hodgins called police to her rented home in Enfield after 2 of her 4 children said that furniture was moving and knocking sounds were heard on walls.
yeah. So absolutely 100%.
Yeah. A police constable said that she saw a chair wobble and slide. Later claims included disembodied voices, loud noises, thrown rocks and toys, overturned chairs, and children levitating. Oof.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
How'd they disprove this one?
Yeah. What? Yeah. How'd you pull off that illusion, David Blaine?
Right. How does he do that, by the way? That's
or that Chris Angel freak.
ugh,
I know. Some of that stuff, I'm like, oh.
that's the stuff we should really
You're a
be paying
warlock.
attention to, for real.
Over a period of 18 months, more than 30 people, including neighbors, psychic researchers, and journalists, said they saw heavy furniture moving of its own accord, objects being thrown across the room, and the daughters seeming to levitate several feet off the ground. Many also heard and recorded unexplained knocking noises and a gruff voice. So basically, this is Ghostwatch.
I just thought of something, and it's always funny. Why is levitation the thing that makes people scary? Just because it's totally impossible?
I guess, yeah.
But why is that the thing that's always, she was floating?
She was floating in air.
Like, why not doing backflips or something?
I mean, it's not impossible. Astronauts do it.
Yeah, but that's because there's no gravity.
Sure. Maybe
Yeah.
there's no gravity in that house. I
But
don't know.
it should be impossible on Earth.
I just feel like if you're a ghost and you really want to get a good haunting on and you really want to cause some harm, I mean, throw some shit down.
Yeah.
Like, don't be throwing like clocks across the room.
I don't want to give them too many ideas, but like,
I say if
leave the oven on if you really want to do
Sure.
You know, like, come on.
if you really want to get down and dirty, ghost, I'm calling you out, ghost. Stop throwing stuff and just show up in person and knuckle up. We'll fight it out.
They can't because they're trying to generate energy.
Okay, well, generate energy into something more interesting than wet spots on the floor, for Christ's sake. Stop making cat noises. Like, make the walls drip blood. That's something I'd be impressed by.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I believe that the mind plays tricks. I mean, I've definitely seen stuff that doesn't make sense, but I don't know if it was actually a ghost.
Didn't you say before there was a ghost that was on the side of the road that you saw, or a hitchhiker or something?
I've never seen that, but I've heard stories of that. Yeah.
Down the road from your parents' house or something?
Well, there's a ghost story that's like a local legend in my small town. Yeah, there's a Wally or something like that. Some old man supposed
That's
to
the worst name for a
be standing
ghost.
at the. It's not Wally, but I can't think of it. It's something like that.
Nobody's frightened of a Wally.
Yeah, maybe it's Wallace. I can't remember, but
That's even worse.
yeah, I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's supposedly stands out at the end of his driveway.
Oh, my God.
And I went looking for him a few times, and we actually saw a guy standing at the end of the driveway, but it wasn't the right house.
Oh,
Yeah. And
Wally's
then
not capable of walking?
And it was really weird because it was really late at night, too. But no, we went back by, and then he was like up by his garage doing something. So.
What if it was actually the ghost?
Right.
Like,
well, then
I'm just sitting here haunting. I can't scare nobody because I look like a real person.
Yeah, we kept going by, and then like he had like the garage door open, and he was doing something in there.
That would be horrible, too. If you were a ghost and you're trying to scare all the people and you just look like a normal person. Like, you don't have a gimmick. Like, you're not missing half a head. Or
throws his hands up in the air.
Yeah,
I
you
guess
don't
I'll
have
go
to
work in my fucking garage.
God damn it. I can't haunt anybody.
Guess I'll go fix the tractor for my piece of shit son that's 78 years old and never learned how to do anything in his life.
Goddamn layabout. Leave it to the old dead man to do it. God damn it.
Right.
I was was told, Martha, you'd never amount to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It's like, yeah, it was the ghost working on something, of course. But there's people that I know in my town that are very credible people, and they're not crazy.
Credible folks.
And yeah, like normal people, and they swear to God they've seen this guy. And they're not like it's not like they're drunk at the bar talking about it and stuff. They're like normal people.
What if it's just a really pale guy? He's just really pale, and he's like, I don't understand why I'm scaring everybody.
That's probably what it is. He's probably like a guy that likes to like look at stars or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a stargazer.
Right. And when he sees cars slowing down, he gets a little nervous and he goes back up to his house.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it could happen. You look like the Babadook, so anything's possible. I mean, seriously, put a picture of the Babadook up to you, and
The
it's the same
Babadook
thing.
doesn't even have a face.
Yeah, he does.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember him having a face.
Well, I'll bring it up.
Huh.
All you have to look at everybody right now, Google the Babadook, and it'll show the picture the kid drew of the Babadook, and then it looks just like Tommy.
I thought it was like a black face though.
With
a hat.
I told Juliet Miranda and Nicholas from Epic Film Guys that you looked like the Babadook, and they both agreed. It was unanimous. They said, "Oh my God, he does."
Oh yeah, they just want to agree with you.
Well,
they're just being nice.
Well, they're not nice people.
I get that I look like Sal Volcano, but not the Babadook.
Sal Volcano.
I get that probably at least twice a week.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't see it, but
well. Oh, by the way, the Enfield Poltergeist also inspired a little movie called The Conjuring 2. Do you see it?
Yes, but he doesn't have glasses.
Okay, Mr. Nitpick.
And I don't have that big of a mouth. He's got like a Steven Tyler
Yes,
mouth.
you do.
What?
Take it back.
I don't have a
You could
huge
swallow a whole
mouth.
man whole. Yeah, see?
I guess I've never been told that before. I've never noticed that before.
Well, you're a Babadook.
The Babadook looks like Johnny Depp
No.
in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
No. Put a top hat on your dumb head and you would look exactly like a Babadook.
There's a poster of the Babadook. It's making him say, "I'm gay."
Oh, yeah.
Like a little cartoon.
Thanks, Internet. You're awesome.
It's got a little blurb.
Thanks for that. So, the Enfield Poltergeist also inspired a little movie called The Conjuring 2.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it as good as the first one. The first Conjuring is probably my all-time favorite scary movie.
Well, this has been someone's favorite movie podcast. If you liked what you hear, which you most definitely did, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be great. Tell all your movie-loving friends to do the same. We want to get your feedback, hear what your favorite underappreciated film is. So email us at someone'sfavoritemoviepodcast@gmail.com. And watch Ghostwatch. I mean,
Sure.
don't take our
Try.
fucking word for it. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe you'll think it's the most interesting thing you've ever watched ever with your own two peepers. Who knows?
Ooh, Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers?
That's a good one to watch. We can watch the Jeepers Creepers franchise.
Oh, with Justin Long. Oh man.
You know that was based on a true story that happened here in Michigan?
No, do tell.
Well, it was on Unsolved Mysteries. You never seen the Jeepers Creepers on Unsolved Mysteries?
By the way, speaking of like things that creep people out,
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries, when you're 8 years old,
And Robert Stack comes on. Oh,
everything about Unsolved Mysteries.
so good.
When I was a little kid, like 8 to 12 years old, I used to spend a lot of time over my aunt and uncle's house. They didn't have any kids. So
Yeah.
I used to spend like a Friday night over there, spend the night. And they lived in the middle of nowhere. You looked out the fucking window, pitch black. They never drew the curtains. The window, large picture windows, always wide open.
Oh, that's
So you look
frightening as
outside, all you can see is pitch black and your own reflection. So you can't see anything really.
right.
And they had like 3 channels. They didn't have cable, so they were always watching Cops and Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching out the window as I'm watching all the murders happen on screen. I'm like, this is it. This is how I go.
No, look up. YouTube, Jeepers Creepers, Real Story, Unsolved Mysteries, or something like that. You use those words. And it happened in the 80s. There was this couple like driving back roads in Michigan, and this van like cuts them off the road, and they're like, "What the hell?" And so they're trying to get the guy's license plate, and he like speeds away, and they like think they got it, but they weren't sure, and blah blah blah. Well, then like 10 minutes later down the road, because the van's like gone out of sight, they pass this church, and they see the van's like parked on the side of the church, and there's somebody like dragging like a tarp, and they weren't sure what was in it, but it looked like blood out of the back of the van, and that's what inspired the whole Jeepers Creepers thing.
I'm gonna Google that and see if you're
that's where I
talking
got
out your butthole.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Ooh, high pitch. That's serious.
I mean, at least somebody thought it inspired the Jeepers Creepers thing, because that's where I read it, and that's how I got and that's where I seen the video.
Did you read it on Reddit?
I've never gotten to Reddit, but I hear really good things about it.
Reddit's fun. My favorite thing right now on Reddit, which is Tinder.
This is just turning into miserable retail.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a segue.
Yeah.
Thank you. My favorite thing on Reddit right now is /Tinder on Reddit, and it's people with their Tinder matches, and they're ridiculous. Like some of them are like super clever, and then their person banters back with them. I'm like, where do you find a girl like that? Like, sign me up with those bantering skills.
Oh, that's cool.
And they take screenshots, and if you're into online dating and stuff, check out Miserable Retail Slave. That's our other podcast. It's a big dumb comedy show. It's gotten rave reviews from everyone you've ever heard of.
Absolutely.
Yes, all
5
your best
stars.
friends. So subscribe to both. Like I said before, hit us up. Someone's favorite movie podcast at gmail.com. Next time, if you're going in order, what do you want to do, Tommy? Do you want to do a 80s lighthearted comedy, or do you want to do a more serious?
Let's do a lighthearted comedy.
Okay, next time we're doing Electric Dreams.
Oh.
I've watched it once. It's fun.
Okay.
It's a man, a woman, and a computer in a love triangle.
Oh, okay. Like Lars and the Real Girl.
More like Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, never seen that one.
Oh, well, Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with his phone, which is voiced by Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay.
That came out a few years ago. It's very good.
This is Electric Dreams.
This is Electric Dreams that came out in the 80s. It's fun. We're going to talk about it next time. In the meantime, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.